Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of The Podium. This episode mainly revolves around the stock market, and if you're a new person investing right now, this episode is very important to you. So make sure you enjoy this episode to the fullest. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do it right away because that is the best way that you can show your support to us and tell us that you can keep going at what you do. Enjoy this video. Let's actually start off and start talking about the Indian stock market. So what is stock market, and why don't you just explain it in a very simple way for the youth to understand?
Okay, let me break it down in very simple terms. You can consider stock market like a marketplace which is not physical but electronic. An electronic marketplace where buyers and sellers meet. Just like e-commerce platforms where buyers and sellers meet. Let's just like when you go to shop on Amazon or Flipkart. And when you go to Amazon or Flipkart, you really don't care who's selling to you, right? You just go out there, you buy the item or you buy whatever you want. You just look at the ratings and buy. Exactly similarly, you go to the stock market, you look at the fundamentals of the company, you don't care who's selling to you, and then you go buy. And stock market in India is hosted by stock exchanges. Stock exchanges are basically supermarkets for stocks where we can go to buy and sell these stocks. But we as retail traders or traders cannot go directly to these stock markets to buy and sell stocks. So the stock markets or the regulatory entities in India have appointed certain people or certain entities called brokers who are going to bridge the gap between us traders and stock exchanges. So these brokers are going to provide you with a platform, provide you with something called as a demat account, through which you can buy and sell stocks. And these brokers are, popular names like Upstox and Zerodha are called brokers. And
so that is basically to connect two people.
Yeah, they basically bridge the gap between the trader and the stock exchange. And they also provide so many other features like, platforms for analyzing the charts, for analyzing the stocks, and so much more. They are not just platforms just where we go press the button to buy and sell.
Right, yeah. Now that we are speaking about the youth and how important it is for them to invest in stock market, what do you think? How important is it for them actually?
See, ultimately, everyone is going to make money. Alright, everyone is going to make money whether they're doing a job or they're doing business. They're going to make money. But the second question comes where, how are you going to build wealth out of the money you're going to make? Obviously, you can't put in the savings bank account and make money because it's not going to beat inflation. Because on an average, you will get 3 to 4% returns on savings account, and inflation in India is on an average, I think, around 6%. So putting money in a savings account doesn't work. And the second question comes down to how do you build wealth out of the money you're going to save or the money you're going to make? So there comes stock market. Stock market is a brilliant platform to grow your wealth over a period of time. That's one reason I primarily believe everyone, whether it's the millennials or the Gen Z, should start investing in the stock market. And the second reason would be, when you are aware of the stock market, when you are invested in the stock market, you get to study about a lot of sectors, what is happening around, that's going to help you in your career growth, and that's going to keep you informed about a lot of things. So I think it's very important for all the millennials, youth, and everyone out there to start investing in the stock market.
It's just going to keep you more involved with what is happening around in India.
Exactly. It also helps. Obviously, stock market is not the only place which gives you all the information on what's happening around. But if you're involved and if you're an active stock market participant, it would really help you to be updated about what's happening.
And it's a good way to make money as well, right? Apart from your salary.
Of course. So it's a win-win scenario for you as well as the money parked in your bank account.
So why is it that only 2% of the Indian population investing in stock market? I mean, it's a country with so much population. Are they afraid of the risk, or don't they have enough knowledge for it, or what is the problem with it?
Okay, the first reason is because of the risk involved. They are fearful of the risk involved, and we are more worried about the 5%, the 5% of the 2% that comes into the stock market. Only 5% of the whole 2% win in the stock market. And
so does that mean the 95% lose in it?
The 95% people, or when we're looking at case studies over the past few years, 95% of the people not just lose money in the market, they fail being good traders or good investors. This is primarily due to two reasons. One being a lack of knowledge about the markets, and the second one being not being able to control emotions such as greed, patience, etc. So that's two primary reasons why people are losing in the stock market. And we Cosmic Wealth is improving that number, trying to improve that number and make it a broader
the
number.
right knowledge and
Right. Because that's one primary reason why people lose money in the market, because they think it's all about making money. They think that there's no planning involved, no studies involved in doing all this. They think most of the
Just
people come into the
randomly
market.
invest, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Most of the people think it come into the market saying it's gambling. You can bet on a random stock and make money, but that's not what happens here.
So, by investing in stock market, how are we contributing to the national economy? How is it affecting it?
So we are contributing indirectly and directly to the economy. I'll tell you one simple thing. The stock price is going up and down affects a lot of parameters such as consumer behavior, business standards, investor approach towards the company, and so on. So I'll give you a very simple example telling you on how it affects the economy. So let's say a company is coming to the market, or being listed in the stock market. So a company comes and lists itself in the stock market to raise funds for the company, for the company to grow, for expansion, and so on. So let's say a company is coming to the stock market, raising money from the public, and this money is being used for expansion. So we'll take an example about a company which is an FMCG company, and FMCG company obviously will have a factory. So with the money they have raised, they'll build factories. They'll have new workers coming in. New workers, you're providing new jobs. That'll boost the economy. And when more money comes in, you get more profits out of it. Therefore, be more turnover coming in. Therefore, more GST and taxes being paid to the government. So there are a lot of direct and indirect ways.
The link is like it's going one after
Exactly. It's mapped from one point to another in a lot of different ways. So there's so many ways that we are directly and indirectly contributing to the economy.
So whoever wins or loses in the stock market, the country grows eventually.
Not really.
So can you explain that how it works?
Okay, so if a person makes or doesn't make money, the broker is going to make money. The broker is going to get taxes out of it. But for the economy to grow, the stocks in the stock market should be growing. The stocks in the stock market should see a progression, and it doesn't really depend on the traders, but it indirectly depends on the traders as well, because it's the sentiment of the traders. It's the sentiment of the traders that drives the prices of the stock market. So that is also mapped in such a way that the economy comes first, then the stocks, and then the traders or the investors.
Now we know how important it is to have the right knowledge about trading.
Exactly. Because there are so many people out there who think trading is gambling, like I told you, where they can come and just bet on a random stock and they expect the price to go up. They don't do any analysis, they don't do any study to see if the prices to go up. They hope and expect the prices will go up. That is a very wrong approach towards stock market, I would say.
So speaking about knowledge in stock market, so let's talk about Cosmic Wealth.
Okay.
The company that you have founded.
Okay.
So let's speak about it. What do Cosmic Wealth do and what is it all about?
Cosmic Wealth offers programs on taking a person from an absolute beginner to a very smart trader. We began our operations back 2 years back, and we began Cosmic Wealth out of loneliness, because me and my co-founder Gautam thought, when we started trading and when we actually started getting successful in trading, we found out that trading is a very lonely process. So we thought of building a community so we can do things together, trade together, and we started roping in people like little by little. First it was free admissions. Then we thought if one comes into our community, we should be providing them with a solid foundation and maximum value. So then we built a company, we built a team, and then we are here right now. We have more than 1,000 traders in our community right now, spread across all over the globe. We have mostly traders from UAE, we have traders from Europe, we have traders from all over India. So we are trying to build a cult of not just traders but the smartest traders in India.
Right. I actually watched one of your video where you have said that you're giving sort of an insurance where you say that we are with you lifetime, and
so there's a reason. There's a
It's not
reason.
just a one-day process. You're there with us
Exactly,
forever, yeah.
exactly. So it's people believe or people think that it's a marketing gimmick to say, okay, we provide with lifetime assistance. But the real reason behind that is, see, things that work in the market today may or may not work 6 months from now or 1 year from now. So it's our sole responsibility to keep everyone in our community informed about how it's progressing or what changes has to be done in your approach towards the market. So for that, we are providing lifetime assistance, and it's also, you know, giving back to the community, staying associated with us for a lifetime, so that we can also provide value to them like throughout their entire trading career.
So how does one enter the stock market if someone decides to invest? So what's the entry level and how to start off?
The first thing I would recommend is to have a very solid foundation and solid understanding about how the stock market functions and how does it work. And there are some legit free sources out there. I talked about stockbrokers, and probably the number one stockbroker in India is presently Zerodha, and they have a platform or a product called Warcity by Zerodha, where they have broken down the whole entire stock market, and one can go out there and simply learn about how it functions and so on. So the first step in one's journey would be to have a very solid understanding about how the stock market functions, and also about, prep yourself about the journey. The journey is not going to be very quick. They need to understand that it's not a get rich quick scheme, and it's gonna take some time. People come into the market thinking, okay, it's going to be very quick and I'm going to make money very quickly, but that's not what happens. And people generally get disappointed after a month or two, thinking that they're not making money after a month or two, and they quit. But probably if they stay in the game for like 3 or 4 months, or that's a very subjective time period, but if they stay for a longer period of time, they'll understand how this functions and they'll get a grip over the market. That's when they start believing.
People have to get used to it.
Yeah, people have to get used to it. And during this journey, one should not be financially and emotionally drained as well. So that's where risk management, and that's where communities like us come into place.
So now for a graduate, say he's just graduated, so he or she will probably be earning somewhere around 15 to 25,000, that bracket. So now if he has to take care of daily expenses and also invest in the stock market, so say he can invest somewhere around 3 to 4,000 per month. So how can he break it down and invest in the right stocks for that?
Alright, so one shouldn't focus on how much money you can invest. It should always be in terms of percentage, because your income can change from time to time. So I believe at least 20% of your income should be going as investments, and at least as stock market investments. And there are a lot of easy products available in the market to do this. One product is Small Case. Small Case has a lot of small cases. So small cases essentially are a bunch of stocks built around an idea. Built around, for example, there's a small case which is a bunch of stocks which is built around the idea of electric mobility. So this will have stocks which deals with electric vehicles. This will have stocks which deals with batteries and so on. So you have readily available products through which you can invest in, and small case is one of my favorite products, because once you invest into it, you will have the system. It will track these stocks, and if there's any change to be made, they'll automatically give you an option to rebalance, so that you get the desired results, or you get the promised returns at the end of your 1 year period or 6 months period. So it's a very advanced tool. And there's also one tool which I use, which is called Ticker Tape. Ticker Tape is a website where you can go, just type the name of a stock, and you will have so many fundamental data listed out to you in very simple terms. For example, there's this graph showing the revenue growth of the company. There's a graph showing the profit growth of the company. There's a section showing all the news related to the company, and so on. So these are advanced and simple tools that has been coming up in the past few years that are helping traders so well. Not just traders, but also investors.
So it's important for the person to break it down and invest in multiple stocks at the same time.
Exactly. When you're investing, make sure you have your risk managed by being, by following risk management. I'm going to tell you to be diversified on your portfolio or on the bunch of stocks you're going to buy. And this diversification can be done, by investing in US markets and Indian markets, or this diversification can be done by being invested in different sectors and so on.
So let's talk about penny stocks now. And what are penny stocks? Is it valuable enough to invest in penny stocks?
Okay, so penny stocks are basically stocks of small companies which are priced very, very less. And people have this very wrong approach towards penny stocks, because they blindly go and buy penny stocks thinking it's less price,
Very
and
cheap, yeah.
it's very cheap and it'll appreciate in value over a period of time. But in most cases, it doesn't happen. But if you do your research and study and then go and invest, it's good. So people have this wrong approach in buying penny stocks, because they think it's very cheap and it'll appreciate or it'll go in multiple folds over a period of time. But if you do your research and if you do your study and then invest, it's fine. But people have this wrong approach where they see only the stock being multiplied. But if if I give you an example, let's say you go out there and buy a stock which is of 5 rupees, alright, and people think, okay, if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose only 5 rupees. But what they don't understand is that if this 5 rupees becomes 4 rupees, they are losing not just 1 rupee but 20% of the capital deployed. That's what they don't understand, and that's where they go wrong when they blindly invest into penny stocks.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very risky investment that way, if you see.
Exactly. But if you do your research and if you do your study and then go and invest, it's fine.
So how does a natural calamity affect the stock market, and how does it depreciate and how does it crash?
How does it depreciate and how does it crash?
Okay, we'll talk about an example which we all faced, which is COVID. So in March 2020, the COVID happened, and there was a couple of things happening, like the lockdown, the cases were increasing and so on. So what the markets don't like is uncertainty. When the markets are uncertain, it goes down, it crashes, and that's what happened in 2020, over a period of 2020. And if you see the whole market structure, you might probably know that after August or after September, the market slowly started reviving. The slowly started reviving because the COVID cases came down, the economy started opening up, businesses started opening up and so on. And if you look at today's crash, because there was a little bit of uncertainty involved and there was a lot of cases. India recorded the highest number of cases, and that's why
Almost 1.5 lakh cases.
Exactly. That's the highest in the world as well. So there has been a lot of global positivity. Global market sentiments also affects the Indian market. If global markets tend to be positive, Indian markets also tend to follow that trend. But looking at 2 or 3 days, the past 2 or 3 days, Indian markets have not been following global positivity, and it has been following only local cues.